Welcome back to the channel. This is the Black Man's Therapist. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you're a returning viewer, please subscribe if you haven't already. This video, I want to speak about preparing your soul for temptation. Now, that might sound outlandish, it might sound weird, but this is something that we as Black men have to prepare ourselves for. Everything that we want to attain in life, everything that we want to achieve, everything we have our sights on for being successful comes at a cost. And when we speak to the Most High and we have a relationship with the Most High and we do what He asks of us and we start to see Him move in our life positively, temptation comes right after. The Bible says that once you are made aware of the knowledge of the Bible, once you've made the decision to keep the commandments and learn about what it is that God is commanding you, that you have to prepare your soul for temptation. Because temptation is something that men deal with on a day-to-day basis, and women deal with it as well. But men, we have a tendency to fall short in that arena. We have a tendency of falling short and almost giving into the temptation. Now, as a man, you have to understand that when things are going well for you and you've decided in your heart that you are going to follow the Most High, you're going to, you're reading, you're praying, you're watching how you think, you're watching the words that you use, you're trying to move as righteous as possible, you're trying to be on that right path, but you start to feel as though things begin to crumble around you or things begin to become heavy on you. Or you may be in a relationship and you know deep in your heart that this is the person for you, and you know that you're happy with this person completes you, and you're willing to go all out. This person is making you a better man. She's giving you all the love, the nurturing, and giving confidence, speaking life into you. And you know that this is the one for you. And sure enough, something comes along, a spirit, something that is trying to get you away from the righteousness that you are on and ultimately to disrupt your happiness. And this spirit comes in many forms. It could come in a job. It could come in money. It could come in the form of a woman. Now, men, we have the tendency to fall short drastically with women. And we have to strap in. We have to lock into reality and not our fantasy. As a man, you can think and have thoughts of a woman that's not yours. Men like to undress women with their eyes, and they like to do all these things that aren't right just because they're aroused or they're thinking of what could be or what, just for a 5-second feeling. For those of you that understand what I'm saying, you get where I'm coming from. We all deal with it. But that is what the enemy wants. They don't want us to have strong families with righteous dynamics. They don't want us to honor one another. They don't want us to be in order. And that is what we lack in our community overall, is order and respect, self-respect and self-love. We have to love ourselves enough to rid ourselves of lust. We have to rid ourselves of temptation. We have to go in the opposite direction of evil. The Bible says that Job was a perfect man and he eschewed evil, meaning had nothing to do with it. You couldn't find it around him. This is the aura that Job had. This is the type of man he had. And when you're a man and you stand for something, you aren't quiet about it. It isn't a secret that Job eschewed evil. It's not a secret that he was on a righteous path and he was given everything. Now our men are given everything. It could be rappers, it could be in sports, you could be a business owner. And as soon as they get into the fame, the money, it's that temptation that comes. Now they begin to forget that God even exists. And that's where they go wrong. And that's when things start to crumble around them. Because once they first got that blessing, they didn't stand still. They didn't take a moment to acknowledge what is going on in their life. And they didn't take the chance to acknowledge the Most High and thank him and, actually use that blessing that they were given to help others. They thought about self, temptation. This is something that we have to avoid at all costs. So you have to prepare yourself for temptation. You have to prepare and think, when things are going good for me, when I have the woman that I've always wanted, here comes another woman that might look good to the eye, but whole time she could be a Jezebel spirit. She could be really created and brought to your attention to suck life out of you, to suck your spirituality away from you. She could be doing these things to take you away from the Most High. And it's just because she just looks pretty and you are thinking about having sex with her and you're thinking about all manner of lust, that will destroy what it is the Most High blessed you with. You have to think before you do things. You can't think irrationally. You can't think with the mindset of pleasure. We are logical. We are men. We cannot be emotional. When we start to think out of lust, and those are emotions. Those are things that we should have under control. The best way to control these things is to find a routine in your life. Find something that you want to achieve, and you have to stick with it and stick with it and stick with it. And you have to turn on blinders. You have to have tunnel vision. That is when all of the outside entities are being ignored, because you have a goal in mind. You have somewhere that you have to be. You have a destination. You aren't just sitting in your thoughts and lust and, things that really don't align with the person you're trying to become. These things can come in many forms. These things can come at any moment. When things happen, you can't act sporadically. You have to think. And deep down when you're thinking negatively, when you're thinking positively, when you're thinking out of lust, and when the Most High is speaking to you, because it is a part of you. He is a part of you. The Most High is a part of us. Whether you want him to be or not, he's there. But you have to hear him. You have to listen. You have to read. You have to pray. You have to ask for him to unveil your eyes so that you can see what he is trying to show you. What is he trying to reveal to you? And you have to go into the Bible. You have to seek out of the book and read. Black man, we lack organization. We lack spiritual connection with the Most High. We don't care about God anymore. We're just all about money and lust. That's all we think about. Sports, money, music, lust. That's our identity in America. That's who we've become. But if you hearken to these words and listen, you'll be able to achieve everything. You'll be able to control your emotions. You'll be able to control your anger. You'll be able to control what you would call flaws. You'll be able to channel that righteousness and you'll be able to become a better man. But you have to want that. I can't want it for you. No one else can want it for you. You have to want it for yourself and you have to stand on that and you have to be that every day. People will look at you and talk about you and say, oh, he's not serious, or he'll be back at it next week or tomorrow, whatever they might say. But once you start consistently walking in that right path, you'll see those people that were talking negatively about you. You'll see who they really are. You'll understand where they really stand with you or against you. They'll fall away. They'll stop calling. They'll stop reaching out to you. You won't see them as much. And the ones that really care about you and want you to succeed and want what's best for you, they'll stick around. They'll watch you grow. It'll even help them grow if they're aligned with you. They'll be asking questions, and then you can use the knowledge that the Most High has given you from reading and how to pray and thinking positively. You can teach that to other people, and you can ultimately bring another black man that was lost into the fold. We have to love one another. We have to learn how to be a family again. Our dynamics as far as the household is torn apart, and it's by design. Our enemy has done this on purpose, but we can't let them win. We have to fight with, and get through this adversity. We can do it, but you have to seek the Most High. We can't do it alone. Subscribe to the channel and like the video. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. If you have any thoughts, any viewpoints, I'm open to all of it. We're starting to get more views on the channel, so I'm grateful that this is reaching someone. If I can reach one person, I'm grateful. This is the Black Man's Therapist.